Alright, so here we are with Revit 22. So to get started, let's just start with a new project. So go under File, under New, hit Project. You'll see these template files come up. You have a series that you can choose from, but in fact the one we want is not here. So we're going to go to Browse, and you're going to click on the commercial default. Say OK to that. In some projects you might use the architectural template, but this has set up a lot of the sheet sets that we already need, our views that we already need, so we're going to start with that. So let's swing through some of the pieces of Revit and how it's organized. So to start off with, you have kind of the similar tab menu system that you'd see in many programs, although this has kind of an extensive list. So each one kind of categorizes within the ribbon below it some other tools that are within it. So we're going to spend a lot of time in architecture. It has the walls, the doors, windows, floors, ceilings, those things that we'll be creating for our project. And we'll get into most of these. We will get into a few of the structures, such as beams and columns, and that we will not need a lot of these other ones. We might get a little bit of systems down the road, far bit. We will be doing insert. That's where you insert any kind of imagery and CAD documents and things of that nature. Annotates what you would think it would be. It's a lot of the different dimensions and adding text and notes and whatnot. We'll be getting a little bit of that. We will not use Analyze. Analyze really helps you kind of look for collisions in your model and do load calculations, things that are much more technical than we're going to cover in this class. We will be getting into some of the massing and site. It allows you to put in site components, topography if you need it, and then also do some modeling in place. Besides that, we're probably going to hit a little bit of manage, which is managing this document and materials and things of that nature, location. And one thing that you do not have is Enscape. I do recommend, as you get heavily into your studio project and you start using Revit, that you download Enscape. It's a plugin that allows you to walk through your model as if you're kind of a first-person shooter in a video game, which is, although it doesn't have the guns, pretty exciting. And the last would be modify. So any object that you've created in your model, this will allow you to modify it in different ways. Whether that's moving it, copying it, aligning it, offsetting, a lot of tools. Again, we will get into these. These will be some of our basic tools that we will cover as we get into Revit. Other things, so that's the ribbon. Up on top, you'll see there are some kind of pretty typical basic commands such as save, print, measure, dimension, text. Essentially, tools that they think that you'll use a lot. And I imagine there's a way to edit that and put in your own set of tools, but we really won't cover that. Other things, so then this is a canvas. This was kind of where things are being modeled. You might hear my dog in the background, apologize for that. And then also there's properties and there's project browser. These things can be undocked You'll often see in my videos that I'll have them kind of in this location, split. Others like them kind of on either side. I'm going to try this out. It seems like it might make some sense. It allows me to see a lot of things without having to scroll. So, you know, this might be a layout you end up liking. If you have limited screen space, you might then end up docking them, you know, one on top of the other, like this would allow you. So you can just grab them, and then you gotta kind of look for the blue window to know where it's gonna actually dock. If you happen to lose them, and it does happen, so you accidentally hit that X, you can go up to, I think, I always have to forget, look at this, under View, User Interface, and then you can get the one you want back. So I'm looking for Project Browser. You'll see that Properties is also under there. So that's where you would go to find that. Other things on this canvas, at the bottom you'll see you have scale for the drawing. Obviously there's not much going on at the moment. You can turn on shadows. Again, that won't do anything because I don't have any objects. You can crop your view, turn the crop on and off, things of that nature, analytical stuff, some temporary. We'll get into a few of these. We won't get into everything. Then you also can see that right here there's a command line, much like you'd have in Rhino, that is prompting you to do something as you roll through some of these commands. It might tell you what the next step is. So that's about it to get you started. So we'll move on to the next thing.